Anubis, the jackal, protector of the dead, is beset by the hordes of Set. If Anubis falls... Oh. Well, basically, the dead people will be in trouble, spirits, if you don't help out Anubis. And Set's a real jerk. Can you stop trying to take over Egypt, dude? Like, for real. So anyway, hello ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, we are back to Luxor. Back and better than ever. Speaking of Anubis, is that a jackal or is that a dog? I don't know. Okay, what is the ominous blue stuff coming from the middle? Is it light? Is it water? What is it? Could be a cryo chamber for all we know. So fun fact, I'm not sure if this applies to the future Luxors, because I've actually never played past 3. But starting with this one, every third consecutive match that you make, you get a power-up. Which that's always been the case, but the difference, depending on which color the third match is, you can actually manipulate what power-up you get. Which if you memorize them, you can really break the game sometimes. Personally, one of my favorites is the color bomb, because it just eliminates a whole color. Not forever, just what's on the screen. These scarabs, they really bug me. Yeah. So how are all of you guys doing today? You guys doing good? Hope so. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Hope you guys are looking forward to a good Thanksgiving. So for Thanksgiving, what we usually do is the Wednesday before, we travel across state lines. We go from one state to another. And we arrive at my grandparents' house. And then Thanksgiving morning, we wake up, we watch the parade, the Macy's parade, Turkey Tom, we have some musical numbers, they sing about stuff. And at the very end, you get to see the fat man himself, ho ho ho, Mr. Claus. And then we go to my great aunt's house, and we have some good old-fashioned turkey. Now when it comes to turkey, really most meat, I prefer the light meat, not the dark meat. I know the dark meat's supposed to be a little healthier, but I'm a white meat kind of guy. I'm sorry. Then you got some mashed potatoes, you got some macaroni, you got the gravy. And then you got the pumpkin pie. I don't know when I became Southern. And then, on Friday, we usually go do something fun. Then Saturday, my grandma hosts. And for the longest time, we've done a brunch-style breakfast. But this time we're changing it up. We're going Italian. Now, I've never had, like, an Italian, like, big meal, so I'm really curious as to what to expect. As long as it's not spicy, we're good. Geb the Grover. Once again, we're back at Geb's place, his yard. Cool little stream he got here. It's actually pretty to look at. I'll just go ahead and take that. Mr. Bird, I'm sorry, but you're probably going to get a few balls to the feathers. Now, Herb Master, he's Italian. He might know a thing or two about Italian Thanksgivings. So, I have this dish that I make sometimes called white pasta, where instead of the traditional pasta sauce, I will melt some butter in a pan, and then about 4 or 5 spoonfuls of mayonnaise in the pasta. I don't know if it's technically pasta, sometimes it's rotini, sometimes it's farfalle, the bow tie one, or it's penne. don't know if it's technically pasta, but it's noodles. Or sometimes I make pink pasta, where I do what I just described, plus the traditional red pasta sauce. So it turns pink. Usually I serve that on International Women's Day, which is March 8th. Or in October. So for the month of October, for breast cancer, our GM, Mr. Cheez-It, was wearing a pink hat. But now, even halfway through November, he still wears the pink hat, and I gotta say, it kind of suits him. It looks good. So speaking of which, at Burrito Horn, I reached a milestone in my employment. I can't believe it took this long, but I had someone threaten to call corporate. So here's what happened. We were out of steak. We're not supposed to run out of stuff, but, you know, sometimes we do. So what happens is we have a thermalizer where we keep the meat heated, like in hot water. Not boiling, but close to boiling. And if you take the last something, you take the last bag of beef, take the last bag of steak, take the last bag of chicken, you're supposed to replace it and restock it. Like, hey, I'm taking the last chicken, I'm going to drop another one. And then depending on how busy it is, you can replace it with just one or two, or if it's a Friday or something, you got to drop a lot. Well, in this instance, it was me and Meximelt working, and that's it. Usually Mondays it's just the two of us. We ran out of steak. Well, no. We didn't run out of steak. We were down to the last available steak. So we dropped more, but then we got kind of busy. And then we ran out of steak for real. And it was going to be about 20 minutes before we had any more steak. Ah, the dreaded puzzle. Will I be able to figure it out? Let's see. No, I flubbed it. I misclicked. Alright, let's try it again. Alright. Okay. This should do it. Booyah! Yay! Ah, this is not. We meet again. So as I was saying, we took the last steak, we dropped more steak, then we got busy, so we ran out of steak for real. So somebody comes, and they want 2 steak quesadillas. And Meximel tells me, no, Matt, we don't have steak. So I say, I'm sorry, sir, we're out of steak. I can offer you either chicken or beef or the cantina chicken. And he goes, man, I fucking hate this town. I got pulled over by the cops on the highway trying to get here just so I could get this to my pregnant wife. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have steak. Like, but you're supposed to have steak. And then he asked me to get something for free. He says, well, can I get something for free? Can I get, like, 1 quesadilla for free? And obviously we're not about to give him free food. And I tell him, you know, I'm sorry we can't do that, you know. I just talked to my manager, she says we can't do that. He goes, okay, well, let me talk to her. So then Gyre, whoa, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's hard keeping a balance. Little jar of peanut butter there. So Meximelt, you know, says, you know, I'm sorry, we can't do that, we can't give it to you for free, but we have other things we can offer you. But this man was hell-bent on steak. He was not leaving without his precious, precious prized steak. And then he asked for the GM's number, and then he started, like, yelling at us, like, you're supposed to have steak, this is bullshit, it's not fair. So then he just starts berating us, and eventually Meximel's like, okay, like, you can leave now. And then he pulls out the classics, like, I'm gonna contact corporate, you know, I'm gonna get y'all fired. And then he asks for our names. Now, I don't know if we're supposed to give someone our names when they ask, but we don't. So we didn't do that. He's like, I'm gonna take a picture of y'all's license plate if you don't give me y'all names. And she's like, well, that's public information anyway. Go ahead, we don't care. And then in the last-ditch effort to, like, somewhat appease him, we tell him, like, it's gonna be about 15 minutes before the steak's done. If you're willing to come back later, we can get you steak then. He goes, you know what? No, I want 26 quesadillas. I want 26 of them right now. So he goes on for a little bit longer, talking about calling corporate, this and that, and then he finally leaves. And before he leaves, he says, you know, I'm a very important person. When you see my face, you're going to know who I am. You're going to know that you screwed up. And we look at him as he drives by, and it's just a fat white dude with his gut hanging out. Literally never seen him a day in my life, never read about him, heard about him, nothing. But he was a man of his word. He did go in the parking lot, took a picture of my license plate and Mexi Melts. And then he hung out in the parking lot for a bit, and then he left. So yeah, there it is, the classic I'm calling corporate. Now, in my opinion, half of the time, they don't call corporate. It's just a scare tactic to try to get free stuff. But even if he does, like, let's say he tells the truth. Like, yeah, I went there, they're out of steak, they offered me other stuff. Oh, and that's another thing. He also said, when he was arguing with us, he said, like, you know, y'all didn't offer me no type of solution, no compromise, nothing. Well, no, one of the first things I said to him was, we can give you either beef or chicken. He's just mad they didn't get free food. So assuming he does say they didn't get free food, like... Now, if any of you watching work in corporate, anywhere, like if you work at a corporate level, and you get calls like that, like, do you actually do anything or no? Because I feel like Burrito Horn, like the big company themselves, like they're just going to tell you to piss off most of the time. Or if he does try to lie about it, we ended up texting the GM and the AGM about it. So, like, we'll have plenty of people to back up that, yeah, we tried to offer him stuff and he refused and he had a conniption. I pretty much cleared that whole river. There was a section of that level where the river was almost completely clear. Defender of Anubis. See, I can cross that one off the bingo card of I'm calling corporate. I feel like in these onslaughts, like, the bugs are coming quicker. Like, you get less time to clear out each line. We got a lot of squiggles here. Lots and lots of squiggles. So I read a story. It was pretty crazy. So Google, they have this chatbot called Gemini, and it's like any chatbot. You talk to it and it talks back. Well, there was this college student. I think he was college, and he was requesting homework help. And at some point, the chatbot just lost its mind, and it told him that he needed to off himself. Like, you're staying on the universe, you're wasting everyone's time, please die. You can look into it yourself, I'm not making it up. Holy Jesus. Ooh, I was not paying attention. Now you get, like, a little bit of leeway. If there's a couple balls in the pyramid, you can still play. But any more than that, you're toast. Oh boy, that was close. Royal Catch. I remember this one. It was the puzzle I couldn't beat. Now we're playing it normally. I will say the design of this one's pretty good. Wait a minute. We have all 4 statues. That means it's time for the thinking chair. Alright. Well, we got 4 creepy jars. That means we're in Egypt. We just figured out Luxor 3. Yay. So what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? What are your Thanksgiving plans? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see what y'all do for Thanksgiving. And also, I might mention this again as the time approaches, but quick little PSA here about Black Friday. Just be careful, because some people will go to the absolute extremes just to save $12 on a set of spoons. People be crazy, so if you're gonna go Black Friday shopping, just be careful, alright? The lighting's not really gonna help much. There's not too many vertical sections here. Where do you think you're going, you little bug? Well, you've made it the furthest out of all your friends. They've trained you well, but not one. Also, in all Luxors that I know of, up until this one, including this one, if one segment gets close to the pyramid, the game will start giving you colors that are in that segment. Because usually it's random, but if you're in danger, it'll give you colors that are closest to the pyramid. Which is kind of nice to help you out a little bit. Bring it on, set. You think he ever runs out of bugs? He's got to run out of bugs at some point, right? He's got to. Unless they keep mating. Keep laying eggs. He's not going to run out of bugs. Those bugs are just going to keep on and coming. You know, I'm getting into a little bit of spoiler territory here, but there is an endless mode for Luxor 3. So let's say you're a Luxor god and you just don't lose. Would it eventually become like Zuma, where there's no bug, it's just a continuous stream of balls? I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. Whoa. You know, I think we gotta be careful with all this gold. Smog might come and burn the place down. I don't see the Arcade Stone, though, so it's really buried in there. Alright, just stay calm. Just keep calm and shoot on. That's how you win. Alright, everybody stop. Everybody chill out for like 2 seconds. Slow down. Ah, you blocked me. You intercepted me. How dare you. Oh yeah. See, I got a ball of my own. It's time to fight ball with ball. Mine's got spikes. Bring it, sucker. You will not desecrate my holy pyramid. You will not sully my temple. You will not put raisins in my trail mix, damn you. Y'all just a bunch of raisins. my holy trail mix. Get out. Damn, they just take a licking and come back kicking, don't they? So, unfortunately, pretty soon the Mexi Melts are going to go away. Now, there's two ways that you can order a Mexi Melt after it's gone. Number one, cheesy roll-up, add beef, add pico. Now, it's obviously smaller than a Mexi Melt, it's a little smaller, but it's the same ingredients, and it's a little more compacted, so it'll have the same texture. Or a regular soft taco, no lettuce, add pico, and if you really want to go the extra mile, have them grill or steam to get that Mexi Melt texture. So that is how you can revive the Mexi Melt. And if I remember correctly, it's cheaper as well. And another thing we have is sometimes DoorDashers, they get mad. So there's two big scenarios. Sometimes we have to lock the lobby because we're extremely short-staffed. We only have a couple people. Now the protocol for DoorDash, Uber, Grubhub, what have you, is you're supposed to come inside the lobby and pick the food up, or if the door is locked, then you come in the drive-thru. You're supposed to try the doors first. And people get mad when they have to come inside. It's like, well, why can't you just hand it through the window? Now, apparently, when you get hired for DoorDash, Uber, or whatever, your job description and your somewhere in the app, in the description it says, try doors first. If doors are locked, come through drive-thru. And most of them accept it, and some of them just throw a big hissy fit. We had one guy who's like, yeah, I'm not coming inside, cancel the order, another driver will come get it. We've actually had that happen a few times where someone canceled because they didn't want to come inside. If you don't want to do your job, why'd you take it? And then we almost had to call the police on one woman because she was sitting in the drive-thru refusing to move. You know, having a conniption about having to come inside. She eventually left, but you know, she had to make a big fuss. And the other thing, now this is DoorDash's fault. So something with the way it's set up, two drivers can be assigned the same order. So a driver will come and pick an order up, and then another driver will come and will say, no, sorry, someone's already picked that order up. Most of the time they accept it. Sometimes they don't. Some people are hell-bent on getting their order pickup. So they'll try anything and everything they can. They'll ask us to remake it. They'll ask us, you know, if they can contact the driver, this and that. Now, unless the customer replaces the order again, we can't remake it because it messes with the inventory. I remember in specific, this one Dasher just would not quit. Every 15 minutes, he would come back asking for the same guy. We told him the same thing. It's already been picked up. He starts talking to the customer, asking him to, like, replace the order. And this whole time, you know, he could have been doing other orders, making more money, but no, he wanted this one guy. And finally, he left. Shining of... I didn't see what that word was. Accounts? Alright, it's bug hunting time. Like the little crush sound it makes when you kill the bug. And the pyramid is one step closer to being done. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And everybody, just little favor, have yourselves a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.